He's stealing pussy. You already know what time it is. Animated horror stories. Animated horror stories. Where we at? We at IMR Scary Tales house. But what for some scary tales? You know they be cutting up. Lately, one of their stories have always been based on a true one. And if you know one thing about me, you know I love a based on a true. Based on a true with a twist. What? The twist being that it's based on a true? Oh, got me in a headlock. Cause what you mean is based on a true story, and y'all really out here acting like this and doing this crazy shit like this here. I love it. So, as I always say, feel free to go and subscribe to their channel. Why? Because you could be watching what they're what they're uploading as they upload it instead of watching it a week later with me. But you love it here. So either or, you could go over there, subscribe, just to support, and just come back over here at this house. Am I energetic? Drinking an energy drink because I up early. So trying to be awake yesterday or the last time I was recording, I was getting a little sleepy. So I was like, make sure you just at least have some energy. Okay, so let's get up into it. Please grab a blunt. Duh. Make sure you have a blunt, please. If you don't smoke, don't have one. If you do, make sure you got one. Bottle of water. Need to stay hydrated. Please, please, please. Bag of chips. You don't need to snack. Duh. And a blanket. You see, I got mine. Just in case I decide to put it on and get snuggled. These stories be good. You might want to get snuggled, fall asleep real quick. Who knows? Might want to fall asleep to T's voice. Hello. But other than that, y'all, make sure you have everything. I love y'all. I truly appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming and watch stuff with me every day. We be up here every day watching something. And I just appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining me daily. Let's go. Let's get into it. Oh, my bad, y'all. It's pizza. 3 true pizza delivery horror stories. I was just chatting you up. I just told you it was IMR. I ain't tell you what.
I've had creepy encounters with delivery guys in the past.
Okay.
But this one has got to be the creepiest of them all. It made me question my own sanity. About 2 weeks ago, my girlfriend came over for some Netflix and chill. After a while, we got hungry and decided to order pizza. I picked up my phone and called a Domino's pizza joint not too far from my apartment. It rang once before a guy picked up.
Domino's Pizza, may I take your order, please?
He emphatically belched. He pretty much sounded like one of those hyper telemarketers.
Yeah, I'll have 2 large pizzas with some extra onion rings on top.
I responded.
Noted, sir. Your order will be delivered shortly.
It wasn't the first time I was ordering pizza from them, so I didn't doubt the assurance he gave.
Sure. Thanks, bro.
I said before I ended the
Did you
call.
get the address?
We were hopeful the pizza would arrive within 30 minutes, but after 4 long gut-wrenching hours, it still hadn't arrived.
4
My girlfriend
hours.
got tired of waiting and decided to leave. I was then left alone in the apartment to possibly die of starvation. A few minutes after my girlfriend left, I heard 3 firm knocks on the door. I thought she might have forgotten something, so I briskly walked to the door to open it. But as the door swung open, I was shocked because it wasn't the face of my girlfriend staring back at me. It was the face of some disturbing-looking dude with raggedy hair and bloodshot eyes. His eyes were sunken, and the bags around them were massive. He even looked tattered, and he may or may not have had a blood stain on his shirt, now that I think about it. Of course, at the moment, I wasn't really paying attention to all those extra details.
Why
The
not?
only things that stood out for me were the Domino's branded shirt he had on, and the box of pizzas in his hand.
What the hell, dude? I've been waiting for this thing for hours!
I snapped at him. He didn't say a word.
Mm-mm.
He just stood there with a blank expression on his face. His head was slightly tilted to the left for some reason. I would have assumed he was high, but I couldn't smell a drop of alcohol or weed on him.
Is he
I
dead?
at least expected to hear an apology or something,
Oh,
but
he's
none
fucking
was
here.
tendered.
He's dead.
You know what, Richard?
I peered closer at the name tag pinned to his chest.
Brad.
I hate when people do that. I've always hated when people do that. If people have a name tag on, I understand that you feel like you could be like, hey, Richard, hey, Cindy, hey, Sarah, hey, Brad, but please don't. I promise you, it is the most uncomfortable thing. Someone being like, hey, Richard, you know what, Richard? Like, if that man was living, he would be like, boy, like, you don't know me. I were, what's the girl's name that I was working with? It's Leanne. I can't remember her name at this moment, so I'm gonna use Leanne. What? I came into work one day, forgot my name tag. They were like, "Well, you need one on. Can I use Leanne's?" Yeah, all day. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Leanne. It was the best thing. Why? Because you're not talking to me. Sometimes I would be, oh, I am Leanne today. Like, no one likes you talking to them just because you could say their name. And then the worst thing is you having to pronounce it if someone says your name wrong and they're like, is that how you pronounce it? And you're like, no, it's actually this. And then you have to explain that like, stop. Don't be talking to people with name tags. Don't sit there trying to say their name. Don't. You're not their friend. They're just trying to give you the food. They're trying to handle your groceries. They're trying to handle your car. You know, they're trying to help you at the bank. You know, they're trying to. They just leave them alone. You don't know them folks. It's the
Son.
weirdest thing.
I peered closer, but none was tendered.
You know what, Richard?
I
I would've
peered
been
closer
fed up.
at the name tag pinned to his chest.
Brad's son. I'll take this up with your manager.
Trying to do
Give me
first
that.
and last name.
I grudgingly pulled the boxes of pizza out of his hand. If it wasn't for the fact that my stomach was rumbling like an earthquake, my ego probably wouldn't have let me take the pizza. I gave him the stink eye before slamming the door in his face. It was already after dark, but at least I finally had something to eat. I
That's
laid back on the
fucking
couch
right.
and got ready to dig in. But as I flipped one of the boxes open, I met another shocker. One of the pizza slices had a huge chunk bitten out of it. I was livid. I felt like breaking a baseball bat over that guy's head, or running him over with
Over
the car.
some damn pizza?
But fortunately for the guy, I lacked the energy to perform any of those feats. I dropped the pizza back on the table and grabbed my phone
That's
instead.
hilarious.
I called the Domino's restaurant again. But unlike before, I didn't get a speedy response. The call rang about 5 or 6 times before I finally got a response.
Hello, this is Domino's. How may I help you?
This time, the voice on the other side sounded more mature and calm.
Yeah, can you please transfer me to the manager? I'd like to speak to him about my order and the delivery service I received. I'm the manager. What's the problem?
The man asked.
My pizza was delivered 4 hours late, and it looked like some douchebag had eaten out of it. Oh, that's terrible. Did you get the name of your delivery guy?
The manager asked.
Yes, his name was Richard Bradson.
The call line suddenly went cold. I could hear him breathing on the other side, but he wasn't saying anything.
Hello?
What's
Are you still
wrong?
there?
Y'all killed
I
him?
asked.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
His voice abruptly began to sound jittery and nervous. I could
What
immediately
happened?
tell something was wrong.
When did you receive this delivery?
The
Today!
manager asked.
5 minutes
At
ago!
about 8:27 p.m. this evening.
I responded. The line went cold again. I was tempted to ask if there was a problem, but I just decided to wait for his response. I grabbed a piece of pizza so I could calm
Don't
my
eat
raging
the
stomach
damn
while I
pizza!
waited. Eventually, he responded with a stern tone.
I'm afraid that's impossible, son. Richard Bradson is dead.
Do
Instantly,
it.
I felt a cold chill run down my spine. Maybe he was playing a prank or just trying to pull my leg.
Why
I
would he be
wondered.
pulling your leg?
That's
He don't know
ridiculous.
you.
I just saw him like 3 minutes ago.
I asserted.
I don't know what to tell you, son, but it's all over the news. You can go see for yourself. He died in a freak car accident earlier this afternoon. He had never missed an order up until today. It's just tragic, really.
Oh.
While the manager was still speaking, I slowly lowered my phone onto the couch and tuned to the news channel. I was left completely horror-stricken by the
Stop
first frame.
playing.
Pictures of the same guy who was standing in front of my door minutes ago were all over the news.
And you was cussing him
And
out.
3 others were involved in a crash. He had been declared deceased. I felt like I was losing my mind. I jolted off the couch and dashed to the lobby. But there was no trace of him. I even ran out into the cold, dark street, but he was gone.
Why would you be that bad?
I walked back to my apartment, bolted the doors, and just sat on my couch. I tried to make sense of the entire evening, but nothing made sense.
Y'all. Oh boy, delivered the pizza, even in the afterlife. He said, alright, God, I'll come with you, but can I just deliver this last pizza? Because I ain't never missed the order. And here go this dickhead just cussing him out. Where you been at 4 hours? I still want to know who the hell bit the pizza. But, you know, like, that's neither here nor there. He still got you his pizza and he's dead. That one was, I like that.
If you ever notice your boss acting strange, don't ignore it. Don't pretend that you're okay with it
What
and
do you
it'll
mean?
go away. I'm saying this because I thought I could ignore my boss. And what happened was bad enough that I'm in therapy for it. It happened a week ago. I'm a pizza delivery driver, and every night is the same. I clock in and make a few deliveries throughout the night. Then towards the end of my shift, my boss makes strange comments to me. Usually, I just ignore him. But this one night he was especially pushy.
Hey, you look beautiful tonight. Why don't you come to my house after your shift and we can get a few drinks?
Boy, he's an old, fat, dusty, crusty
Thanks,
asshole
but
to me.
I'm busy.
I'm just joking with you, Gloria. Lighten up.
I laughed, but I could see his stare following me as I pulled out my phone to clock out. Right before I hit the button, however, the phone rang. The manager walked over to it, picked it up, and answered.
Hey, we got a late order. Gloria, why don't you take it?
I sighed and reluctantly agreed.
I just punched
The
out.
address was a little ways away in a well-to-do neighborhood, but I had no idea what kind of horror awaited me there. I knocked on the door and a woman answered.
Oh, the pizza is already here. I'm so sorry. Come in while I get my wallet. Yeah.
Why would
okay.
you go up in
I
there?
stepped inside and immediately noticed something strange. There were photos of me up on the walls. Every wall was covered
Oh.
with pictures. I recoiled, realizing that these photos were taken from the CCTV footage from the surveillance cameras my manager had installed a while back.
Oh,
What the?
Before I could finish
Get
my
out!
sentence, however, I heard footsteps and whirled around toward the door.
the
There
big ass
stood my
fat man.
manager. You can't
How'd he get
possibly
there?
understand the horrifying picture he painted as he stood there. My car's headlights casting a shadow on his disfigured body. His hands hung at his sides, much larger than the rest of his lanky arms. His round eyes stared at me wildly, and a grin spread over his face. I could barely stop screaming, but I still felt hopeful. Maybe he had come to rescue me.
Girl.
What are you doing here?
You always reject me, and now I can have you. You think that you could just ignore me and get away with it?
I glanced past him and saw that his wife was standing just behind him, her eyes fixed on the ceiling as she muttered over and over.
He'll have you. He'll always have you. He'll have you.
What?
He'll always have you.
Her
Girl.
face showed no emotion
Bitch,
as if she were not
stop.
aware of what was going on. I screamed and ran into the next room, but he came after me, screaming and shouting. I could hear his heavy footsteps thudding behind me. his huge hands reaching
Girl,
for
you
me.
better run away
I
from this
managed to
fat
dodge
ass.
into another room, but as I ran, I saw his wife advance from another doorway.
What is wrong with you? Don't you care that your husband is trying to hurt me?
Still staring at the ceiling,
Girl,
she
he
simply
hurt her
grinned
too,
wider
I'm
and
sure.
raised
She
a
over there
rolling pin in
tweaking
the
too.
air. I realized then that they were both psychos, and I had to
And you had to
escape.
beat their ass.
I made a run for the window and managed to jump out just as they reached me,
Good
closing
shit.
the window behind me. My car was only a few feet away and I made it into it with barely enough time to lock the doors behind me. The manager and his wife came running out.
Good
The
shit.
manager held nothing in his hands, but the rage on his face was evident. He gnashed his small teeth as he saw where he was, turning toward his wife and telling her something. I couldn't hear, but the next moment he turned and began to run toward me, his wife following just behind him. I put the car in reverse and peeled out of the driveway, not looking back until I was a few blocks away. I reported them to the police that
They'd have
night
been
and
mad
they
if
were
you would've
arrested.
whoop, whoop.
As it turns out,
Vroom.
he was responsible for
Hit
some of the
they
missing girls in town over the
Stupid
past few
asses.
months. Never ignore your boss. Never ignore them. What makes this whole ordeal worse, however, is that some of the pictures on his walls weren't from the CCTV footage. Some of them were of me when I was sleeping, when I was driving,
Oh.
or even when I was alone in my own home. I can only conclude that my boss had been stalking me and planning this attack for months. It still sends a chill down my spine when I think about it. But the worst thing is the realization of how close I could have come to the same fate as those other unfortunate girls.
That's why
Don't
when you
ignore
clock
your
out,
boss
y'all
if they
clock
act
out.
strange. Don't assume that it'll blow over and that everything will be okay. Reach out to someone you trust and make sure that they know what's going on. Your safety is more important than anything else. I can safely say that I'm never going to deliver pizza again.
I wouldn't.
Hey guys, my name is Alan, and let me tell you, I'm a big pizza fanatic. I like to try every flavor you can possibly imagine, whether it's exotic or not. If there's pizza, I'll be there. Anyway, every time a new pizza place opens, I
Random, but let me. It's not just bosses, it's coworkers, it's, it's strangers. Once anybody make you feel uncomfortable and then hit you with a, oh, I'm just joking, no. Don't deal with that. Like, no. Just have boundaries with yourself. A lot of the times when someone says something uncomfortable to you and they know that it's uncomfortable and you give them a nervous laugh, they're just gonna keep doing it. You know? They do something weird, you gotta, excuse me? That's disgusting. Make them feel so nasty they will never do it again. You understand me? Good job.
Your safety
No.
is more important than anything else.
Don't think
I can
you're
safely say that I'm never going to deliver pizza again.
dealing with some weird ass people and some weird ass stuff.
Hey guys, my name is Alan, and let me tell you, I'm a big pizza fanatic. I like to try every flavor you can possibly imagine, whether it's exotic or not. If there's pizza, I'll be there. Anyway, every time a new pizza place opens, I go there to buy it. Do you know why? Because I'm terrified of pizza deliveries. It may seem strange, but after I tell you my story, I'm sure you'll agree with me. It all started one normal
I love that he just started buying pizza. Like he just started driving there to go get it. Like he's not like, I'm never gonna eat pizza again. He's just like, I'll just go get my pizza.
night. It was 4 a.m. and the doorbell woke me up.
Or a pizza lover.
It was
That's
probably a kid
pizza
playing a
lover.
joke on me, so I slept on. The next day, I watched the security camera to see if the kid was a neighbor I recognized, but to my surprise, it wasn't. The person who had rung my doorbell was a pizza delivery guy,
Oh no.
but he was no ordinary pizza delivery guy. Something was wrong with him. The man had no lips. His teeth were crooked and rotten, and his mouth was huge. But what scared me the most was the look on his face. The person knew where the security camera was, and I felt that when I looked at him. He
You
looked
looking
me
at me?
straight in the eyes. Pizza delivery. After those short but terrifying words, the man dropped off the pizza and left. When I went to check my front door, the pizza was still there. I had the audacity to open it, and when I did, I almost threw up. The pizza was rotten, full of maggots and bugs. I threw it in the trash and saved the video just in case. From that day on, the nightmare started to repeat itself. Every day at dawn, this man would ring my doorbell, and after saying pizza delivery, he would just leave. I called the police several times, and once they even arrested him, but they let him go very quickly. Why would they arrest him? For bringing me a pizza? The only option I had was to confront him, but to tell you the truth, I was scared to death. This man was scary, and I didn't know what he was capable of. I let everything take its natural course until one day, I discovered that if you don't take care of these things, they will take care of you. This was a Saturday night. My wife had taken our children to their grandparents' house where they would spend the weekend. I was alone in the house, or so I thought. I was about to leave the bathroom when suddenly, in the bathtub, I saw something that caught my attention. It was a slice of rotten pizza, and to make it even worse, the pizza was hot. Someone had left it here recently. Upon my discovery, I noticed eyes watching me from the dining room. I ran to the bathroom door and the invader came rushing in, but I managed to close the door first. On the other side, the violent knocking was not long in coming. This person was desperate to get into the bathroom. I didn't know what he wanted or what he could do to me, but I definitely didn't want to find out.
How about the window?
Seconds, minutes, and hours passed. I wanted to get out of the bathroom and try to escape, but I knew that if I did, this man could catch me. I listened as footsteps headed towards the dining room door, the only way out of my house. That's when I came up with a plan. Open the door, run to the kitchen, grab my cell phone, and hide in the bathroom again. That way I could call the police and save myself. I opened the door and started to run, but something stopped me. Not one, but 3 men knocked me down. They were all dressed like pizza delivery guys, but unlike the man who was harassing me, they had strange and terrifying animal masks. From the dining room came the man who, without the mask, was scarier than any other. The man who visited me at night. Please don't do anything to me. All my money is in my mattress. It has a lock on the side of the wall. Take everything. After a signal from the stalker's head, all the delivery guys with masks started to destroy my house. They pulled out drawers, broke the furniture, and threw any papers everywhere. It was as if they were looking for something, but they didn't really stop to look at anything. At the same time, the unmasked man came towards me with a pizza box while 2 of the other masked men were holding me. Without warning, the man started shoving rotten pizza into my mouth. I could feel the worms, the bugs, and the rotten cheese all over my tongue at the same time. I wanted to vomit, but before I could get anything out of my mouth, the unmasked man put his foot in my mouth so I couldn't spit out the food. Come on, I thought you liked pizza. With all my...
Yo, he's still eating pizza. He's still eating pizza. I promise you, I love pizza. I love pizza. Old rotten pizza with maggots, maggots and rotten cheese. I know that shit is green. I hate maggots. I don't care about no bugs. Maggots? I hate maggots. He needs to fight he needs to fight to the death. At that moment, you don't care if you live or die. You don't care if you win or lose. If you walk away standing or not. At that moment, you fight to the death. Oh, an old pizza with maggots? Okay, I want to go back, but I also don't want to go back. Okay, one more time.
I could feel the worms, the bugs started shoving rotten pizza into my mouth. I could feel the worms, the bugs, and the rotten cheese all over my tongue at the same time. I wanted to vomit, but before I could get anything out of my mouth, the unmasked man put his foot in my mouth so I couldn't spit out the food. Come on, I thought you liked pizza. With all my strength, I managed to free my right arm, and grabbing my attacker's foot, I pulled him back and he fell. I hit the man holding my other arm and ran as fast away from my house as I could.
Ain't no
In just a
motherfucking
few
way.
seconds, the men were already catching up to me.
Run
One lunged
faster.
at me and grabbed my feet, while the other three grabbed my arms
They
and
got
ran. As the four men held me outside my house, the unmasked man approached me with a screwdriver that he pulled out of his pocket.
You had to
The
stab
man
you?
sat on top of me and began to rub the tool in the center of my chest, indicating that this is where he was going to stick it.
You about to poke
Please,
you?
don't hurt me. I haven't done anything to you.
Over some
I
pizza?
have a wife and children that I love. They won't know what to do without me.
They will.
Please stop. Ignoring me, the man raised the screwdriver, ready to attack
Come
me,
on, Sam.
but I never did. The man stopped completely, not because of my speech, but because behind him, several policemen were pointing their guns at him. Once they were all arrested, I learned that my neighbors saw the men entering my house and immediately called the police. Under heavy interrogation, the unmasked men confessed that they were not really delivery guys, but had been hired to kill me. The whole show with the pizza and the disguises were a ruse to make the police think that I was killed by psychopaths or members of some strange cult. Shortly after, they also confessed that it was my wife who had ordered the hit. She never went to see her parents, but to her lover instead. She hoped that after I had been killed, she could keep the house and live with another man. Today, we're on trial, and
In
I'm
my
about to
house?
win.
You bitch?
Nowadays, I live a quiet life with my children, and we're all
Period.
pizza fanatics. But as I told you before, from that day on, I'm always going to pick it up on my own, lest I
don't know how you're
run
even
into
eating
the wrong
pizza.
delivery guy.
Nasty ass bastard. That's the nastiest bastard I could ever. What? You had nasty rotten pizza shoved in your mouth and you still gonna eat pizza? I would never touch a pizza. I wouldn't even look at pizza. Me and pizza, what? Pizza wouldn't know me. I don't know pizza after no nasty shit like that. Mm-mm. I promise you I don't. Ooh, that last one. Ate the cake. I ain't know where it was going. I ain't know where it was going. But when it got there, it tore some shit up. It sure did. Oh, that's so gross, y'all. Rotten pizza? We got rotten, nasty pizza. Like, my wife hired you to kill me. You ain't have to do that nasty shit. Oh, that would have pissed me off even more. That would have pissed me off even more. You was hired to kill me. Who told you to put some rotten ass pizza in my mouth? Where'd you get the pizza? Like, y'all, throw him under the jail. Throw them all under the jail. The little clique and the wife. Throw them hoes under the jail. Throw his nasty ass under the jail too, just for a couple days. Cause why are you still eating pizza after that? My kids will never know pizza. They wouldn't even like pizza after that. I promise you. I promise you they wouldn't. Second story, girl, for real, I be telling y'all, these jobs don't care about you. So the fact that you clocked out and still decided to, okay, I'll drop this pizza off on my way home. No. A manager couldn't see me clock out. You know why? Because I'm not getting paid for it. Clock out and be like, hey, T, drop this off on your way home. On my way home? On my way to my house? That sounds crazy. Does it not? Does it not sound crazy? It sounds crazy to me. But, you know, to each its own. She just generous. And then the first one was good. What was happening in the first one? Let me see. Oh, yeah, the first one. Cussing out old boy because he died. Like, that twist was good too. You know, I love a twist. You think, oh boy, just 4 hours late, and in reality, he's dead as shit. And you see how the work day still went on. You see how they didn't close down work because his name was Robert. I can't see because he was dead. They kept working. Stop putting all your all into these damn workplaces. Ooh, let me know which one was your favorite. I love them all. I say number three really took the cake for me. It really ate it up because I love a good wife try to hire a hit. Y'all thought y'all was gonna live y'all stink asses in my house after shoving rotten pizza down my throat and killing me? Fuck out of here. Mm-mm. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, you guys, bye.